Bruce David Rioch is a football manager and former player for the Scotland national team. His last managerial post was at Aalborg BK in the Danish Superliga in 2008. As a player, he made more than 550 appearances in the Football League and, by virtue of his father's birthplace, represented Scotland in 24 matches. He became the first player born in England to captain Scotland. As a manager, he has taken charge of clubs in England, the United States, and Denmark. His brother Neil, son Gregor and nephew Matty Holmes were also professional footballers. Playing career. Rioch was born in Aldershot, Hampshire. After moving to Luton, Bedfordshire, at the age of 14, he joined his local side, Luton Town, turning professional in September 1964. He made his first team debut later that month, and his league debut in November 1964 in a 1-0 defeat at home to Southend United. He spent a couple of years establishing himself and was a regular member of the Luton team, scoring 24 goals, that won the 4th Division title in 1968. He moved to Aston Villa in July 1969 for a fee of £100,000, then a record fee paid by a second division side. He won a League Cup runners-up medal in 1971, Villa losing 2-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. He moved to Derby County in February 1974, winning a league championship medal. He joined Everton in December 1976, but returned to Derby County in September 1977. After a dispute with the Derby manager, Tommy Docherty, Rioch had brief loan spells with Birmingham City in December 1978 and with Sheffield United in March 1979. He then left the baseball ground to play for NASL side Seattle Sounders. While playing with Seattle Sounders in 1980, he was named to the NASL First Team All-Stars. He returned to England in October 1980 when he joined Torquay United as player coach, working at first under Mike Green and then under Franco Farrell. Managerial career. Torquay United. In July 1982, Rioch became player-manager of Torquay United but left in January 1984. In February 1985, after 13 months out of the game, he was appointed manager of FC Seattle of the U.S. Western Soccer Alliance, but resigned in September 1985 to return to England. Middlesbrough. He was appointed as manager of Middlesbrough in February 1986, and his first success in management came in 1987 when he guided Middlesbrough to runners-up spot in the 3rd Division and promotion to the 2nd Division at the end of a season which had started with them locked out of Ayresome Park by the official receiver and on the verge of bankruptcy. A year later they won a second successive promotion, this time as winners of the 2nd Division promotion, 1st Division relegation playoffs. Middlesbrough showed great promise in the first half, 1988-89, but fell away badly and were relegated on the last day of the season. He was sacked the following March as the Teessiders hovered just above the 2nd Division drop zone but on the brink of the first ever Wembley final in the Zenith Data Systems Cup. Rioch is held in the highest esteem by fans of Middlesbrough as, following liquidation, he took a threadbare squad of local players and turned them into a team the town could be proud of. Many fans believe that, had it not been for Rioch, Middlesbrough would have struggled to survive. Whenever Rioch returned to Middlesbrough as the opposition manager, the Borough fans would frequently chant the songs that they had when Rioch was manager as a mark of respect for his services. Millwall. Rioch made a quick return to management the following month with Millwall and guided them to a playoff place in the 1990-91 2nd Division campaign, but left in March 1992. Bolton Wanderers. Rioch's next stop was at Bolton Wanderers, becoming manager in May 1992. In his first season they beat cup holders Liverpool 2-0 at Anfield in an FA Cup replay, which many fans feel was the start of Bolton's resurgence. They finished runners-up in Division 2 and won promotion to Division 1. The following year Bolton finished in a respectable mid-table position, as well as beating Premier League opponents Arsenal, Everton and Aston Villa in the FA Cup. In the 1994-95 season they were League Cup losing finalists to Liverpool and beat Reading 4-3 in extra time in the Division 1 playoff final after being 2-0 down at half-time. The playoff final victory was Rioch's last game as Bolton manager. A few weeks later he accepted the Arsenal manager's job and was replaced at Bolton by Roy McFarlane. He is considered to be one of the best Bolton managers of all time by the club's supporters. Arsenal in 1995-96, his only season at Arsenal, re-guided Arsenal to a UEFA Cup place, finishing 5th in the Premiership. It was achieved on the last day of the season, at the expense of Everton, Blackburn Rovers and Tottenham Hotspur. Arsenal also reached the League Cup semi-finals but lost on away goals to Aston Villa, and were knocked out of the FA Cup in the third round by First Division side Sheffield United. Just before the beginning of the 1996-97 season, Rioch was sacked after a dispute with the club's board of directors over transfer funds. His enduring legacy at the club was the signing of Dennis Bergkamp, whom Rioch had signed from Inter Milan in the summer of 1995. Bergkamp would go on to become one of the club's greatest players. However, this was overshadowed by him playing Ian Wright on the left wing, and the subsequent fallout led to Wright putting in a transfer request after being dropped. Rioch was also known for his intensive training methods, according to former Arsenal player Adrian Clarke. Queen's Park Rangers. After leaving Arsenal, he worked as assistant manager under Stuart Houston at Queen's Park Rangers, but was sacked along with Houston after just over a year at Loftus Road, Norwich City. In May 1998, Rioch was appointed manager of Norwich City in Division 1. He resigned after less than 2 seasons at the helm after failing to get the Canaries anywhere near the promotion and playoff places that the club had long been hoping for. He cited a perceived lack of ambition at the club as the main reason for his decision to resign. However, he also acknowledged that the club's uncertain financial position meant that the transfer funds available to him were limited. Wigan Athletic remade a swift return to management with Wigan Athletic for the 2001 season. He won the Manager of the Month award for November 2000, but left the club the following February, as they occupied the Division 2 playoff zone. The club said that Rioch had resigned, but he insisted he was sacked. Odense Bold Club. Rioch was intent on returning from management, and was linked with the Derby County manager's job after John Gregory was sacked at the end of the 2002-03 season. But it was 4 years before he made his return to management. He was appointed as head coach of Danish Superliga side Ob in June 2005. He led Ob to a third place in his first season in charge, but decided to leave the club on the 12th of March 2007 due to his wife's illness, as the official explanation. The media, however, reported that the actual cause was a dispute between Rioch and the management of Ob. Aalborg BK. In June 2008 Rioch returned to management with Danish champions AaB after former head coach Erik Hamrén moved to Rosenborg BK. His first big priority was to try to qualify AaB for the Champions League, which they entered in the second qualifying round. He successfully guided them into the group stage after defeating FK Motrica and FBK Kaunas. By beating Celtic, AA became third and thus entered the UEFA Cup. Rioch, however, did not witness this victory from the bench. On the 23rd of October 2008 he was fired as AAB had only 2 victories from 10 games and were second from bottom of the Danish league. Later career. In November 2009, Rioch was linked with the return to football as manager of the Scotland national team. This following the departure of George Burley. In March 2010, he took training sessions at Cornish non-league club Falmouth Town, near his home. He later became involved with coaching at another Cornish club, Penryn Athletic of the South West Peninsula League. Honours. As player with Luton Town Football League 4th Division champions, 1967-68, with Aston Villa Football League Cup runners-up, 1971, Football League 3rd Division champions, 1971-72, with Derby County Football League 1st Division champions, 1974-75. As manager, with Middlesbrough Football League 3rd Division runners-up, 1986-87. Football League 2nd Division playoff winners, 1987-88. With Bolton Wanderers Football League 2nd Division runners-up, 1992-93. Football League Cup runners-up, 1995. Football League 1st Division playoff winners, 1994-95. Statistics.